hottest freestyles to interviews with the biggest artists in the world. It's just incredible. And DJ Sourmilk, the LA Leakers, live from Los Angeles.
Let's do it, man. Liftoff show.
Of
course, we here, man. When you see it like this, family's here with us, man.
Of course, man.
Dom Kennedy, the original Dom Kennedy, has joined the show, man.
Yeah, man. Back in the building.
It's good to sit down with you tonight, man.
Hey, man. It's good to be seen, man.
Back in the
Appreciate
building,
y'all.
of course, with a new album, too, man. From the Westside With Love 3.
Part 3, man.
Part 3.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that because, like, I feel like 1 and 2 are
staples.
Yeah, dog.
Staples.
It's like those are very critical albums, not only to your catalog, but to the fans, bro.
Right.
Like that's something they hold up.
Yeah.
So naming, doing a third installment of this.
Yeah.
Is that tricky for you, bro? To where you're like, damn, like should I do this? Because people are gonna probably critique it harder than they would a regular album, or
no, I had to embrace that.
Yeah,
I had to embrace that, and honestly, it started from a sincere place. It wasn't like marketing, it wasn't like strategy. It was more music,
right?
And if I let the feeling in my heart and my intuition dictate what the album should be and where it's gonna go, and I actually thought of the concept like 18 months ago with music I was creating with Hit Boy, and I told him like, man, I feel like I could do it.
Yeah,
like I never thought about it. You know what I mean? Like if I could have used that at any time, you know what I'm saying, as a get out of jail free card, you know, whatever, or made it into something, but it wasn't really never that. It wasn't nothing I ever wanted to do or thought about until I started making music that felt that way and spoke to me. You know, Westside With Love is just a certain feeling, you know, and working with Hit again, and I told him like, man, it's inspiring me in a different way, and I was like, something in my head was like, you could do Westside With Love 3, and it was a process from that point. You know, I didn't even talk about it. I kind of kept it to myself. It was something I said to him, and then, you know, earlier, like before the summer, you know, I just let it out, but by then I knew it was gonna be solid because I had already did so much with it. You know, I didn't start talking before I put the work in. You know, in other words, for sure. Right. But the music dictated the title and the vibe. You know, it wasn't nothing that I set out to like, let me create this, and then went and chased it. It was like, this what it is.
It was an energy.
From the Westside With Love 3.
An energy.
And one day you're going to put this out, you know?
Man.
Now it's out.
And for those that haven't heard it, we were just talking off the air a little bit, and the feedback, at least from what I've seen, has been fucking incredible.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's been the same for you.
No doubt.
Talk to us a little bit about the album, man. Features, production.
The album is real personal. You know, I could say that before I was doing music, I was in the learning stages as well. You know, especially being independent, you kind of don't have as many, you know, people to fall back on, people to tell you right from wrong. So I was learning in the process with the fans of creating music, learning how to write songs, learning how to be great, what was great, what I should talk about. Of course, certain times I got it right. But man, from the Westside With Love is just like really a labor of love. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, like it's a labor of love. It's not no fear involved in it. You know, it's like a pleasure to make, you know, from the Westside With Love. And I looked at it like a foundational record. And, you know, now that it's out, you know, I've been doing it for a minute. You know, I don't have no reason to lie. And, you know, out the gate, it was like my most well-received project. You know,
this project
Crazy. Out of anything I've ever done, you know, and I've had some great moments,
Absolutely.
You know, but this one, like, I think it hit because it was personal for me. It's personal for me. You know what I'm saying? It's personal. It's not even just business. It's not money. It's not, like I said, strategy. It's not any of that. It's personal.
Right.
You know, when you see from the Westside With Love, it means something. 1, 2, or 3.
That's
you know,
right.
like somebody asked me one day, what would I name if I wrote a book or if it was a book about my life, and I was like, it would have to be called From the Westside With Love, you know? And that shows like I really care, you know what I'm saying? And I don't never want to like let that be in question or downplay that, you know? And if it ever was a time that was the case, it shouldn't be no more. You know what I'm saying? It should never be the case, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like From the Westside With Love is just a proof and extension of that. That's the reason when I first did the first one in 2010, that was actually me like trying to be taken serious as an artist. You know, that's what led me to creating that first album. And, you know, 11 years later, having that same hunger, that same fire in your heart to just, want to prove like it's greatness in my circle. It's greatness in my heart. It's greatness, what we create is timeless, great music,
That's
right. And wanting to put that, record that, and share that with the world is something I take serious.
Yeah. And so if there was a book about Dom Kennedy, and that was the name of it, what would we learn about Dom Kennedy in that first chapter, man? What can you tell us about early Dom Kennedy that people might not know?
Oh man, humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
Humble beginnings. My story is not like, unlike, I should say, a lot of kids that grew up in Los Angeles that was born around the time I was born. I think that one of the major differences would be that I continue to take chances and believe in myself,
Yeah.
and go against the grain. I was in a movie with everybody else when they would say, y'all not gonna make it to 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just somebody in the movie, just like everybody else. I wasn't special. Like, I wasn't a rapper. I wasn't, I was just a kid trying to figure it out like everybody else, wondering what does that mean for my life,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I guess in the book, you would learn that. I'm sure you hear certain things throughout the music, but in the true, like, if I shared everything, which I hope to one day, I think that people will understand that I'm of the community, of the people, first and foremost. That's how I got here. I was never, like, separated or this person over here. Like, I was with the homies.
Yeah.
I just stayed around and stayed mindful enough to be able to tell our story, and when God put that responsibility on me, you could say I took it serious.
Yeah.
You mentioned believing in yourself, and I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were just talking about, pillars in the LA hip hop culture, and your name always comes up with all respect. And he, we were even joking because he was like, "That's the original Dom Kennedy." There's a lot of like sons of Dom Kennedy that have come through over the years.
People probably wonder why I even said that back then.
But it was, but it was that
Leimert Park legend. But it was like the vision of what it could be. You know what I'm saying, or what I saw. One day could happen.
Yeah, and my question is where did this confidence come from? That believing in yourself. Is that
from my family? You know what I'm saying. My family on both sides is pretty tight. I think about that often. They believe in each other. They look out for each other. They honest with each other, and they love each other,
Of course.
Above and first and foremost. And I think that for me, I'm important to my family. So I assume that with everything in the world. Like, nobody should downplay me if my grandmother don't.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you obviously don't love me as much, but you gonna have respect for me because she respects me.
Absolutely.
And I kind of live with that, mentality. Like, I'm important to my uncles.
Yeah.
You heard me. My cousins is gonna come see you. You feel me? So you should act like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should act like that. You should move like that because those people, they love me, and they have respect for me.
Right.
And it's a reason,
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's crazy you asked that. I swear on everything. I was about to ask you the same thing, but in a different way, because we've talked about this before, but I remember the very first time we ever met in person. You're an unknown artist, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I had heard your music. We had a mutual friend. I was like, yo, I want to connect with him.
Yeah.
And you're meeting with a guy who DJs on the radio, but you were not like looking for no handouts. You weren't, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember your approach was so like you knew your value even back then.
Yeah.
Did you always know that the music shit, like how early on did you know that the music shit was going to pan out for you?
I didn't know. I can't lie and say I knew that it was going to pan out. I knew I was going to pan out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. The music industry still haven't panned out for me.
Yeah.
If I could be honest, I haven't made no money in the music industry. I haven't really got no favors. I don't have no friends in the music industry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nip was my brother. He had deals, but it was time he didn't. But, that was like a person I respected and loved. But nobody really else, like, never really did. I'm not like in the music industry. And this is me being honest, because I love y'all too, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I just knew that I would pan out because when I look at people that rap, let me put it like this. Like, if you was a good rapper and you was signed and we was all in junior high, if you would have came to my school, I would have killed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
You saying with the bars?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. Right.
Style, everything.
Yeah.
Like,
glasses,
your label
dog.
would have probably
It's the
been mad
glasses.
that they fucked with you if I was at the school. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I still probably would have been like, that's what's up, and went home. You know what I'm saying? But I like to remind people, like, it's always people like me in the world. You know what I'm saying? Especially in L.A., like, you good on your street. On my street, you know, I might not be that good. And that's how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? That's how I grew up. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So it's like, I always kept that same mentality. I never changed.
Right.
So again, I knew I was gonna pan out.
Yeah.
People like, dang, you know, they never seen nobody go 12 years and never get an advance. You know what I'm saying? And do the stuff that I did and buy the stuff that I bought. But it's like, again, that's me panning out. That's not the industry panning out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You,
know what I'm
you
saying?
figured it out.
Figured it out.
A lot of people went broke.
Yeah.
A lot of people got deals and still need to do their thing, to do whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? So that's good for them. But for me, I knew I was going to pan out. I wasn't counting on, that's probably why, or what you didn't see is maybe I wasn't counting on the radio to do nothing for me.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
we
You know what
always
I'm saying?
respected
I was
that.
trying to bond with y'all because I knew y'all was like me. You know, we was into the similar things, and
Yeah.
I respected that. And, you know, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I wasn't looking at like, oh, y'all got a job up here, so it's an opportunity for me to, like, you know, attach on and try to
Right.
give them radio records
Right.
every week and shit.
Right.
You know, that's not my style.
Yeah,
Never
and
been. Never been.
that's one of the things I think that you know, I think I speak for Justin too,
Yeah.
is like we've always respected most about you is
Yeah.
you've never folded
Yeah.
to none of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've always stayed true to yourself and
Yeah,
and
that's
you
right.
do what you love, and that's why this shit works out for you.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
You know what
for
I'm
sure,
saying?
exactly. And this kind of just like, man, accountability. You know what I'm saying? Accountability is a big word, you know, and I hold myself highly accountable. Sometimes I might be too hard on myself. I found in recent like self-reflecting and things like that, but I'm highly I hold myself accountable, self-aware, and I hold myself accountable. So again, I say that to say, like, if it don't work, I'd rather say it don't work because something I did, not because something the industry didn't do. You know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
make it
That's
hard to sleep.
Yeah.
And you know what I
Almost
mean, or
gives the
hard to do anything.
Industry too much power too.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Over what's going on.
Right.
You know? And it's like I wouldn't want to think that I'm here right now, even right now here because of the industry.
Yeah.
Facts.
So listen, we know how big and loyal your following is.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's had to have been some big checks offered to you,
Yeah.
like label wise.
Yeah.
Like, what's the closest you've ever been to being like, let me sign this shit, bro?
Money wise,
Like to a label. No,
Yeah.
not even. I don't even need to know the
Situation,
number, but I'm
probably
saying
situation.
like
Oh, yeah, it's been times.
was
I can only imagine
yeah,
what
like,
the
what's
number is though.
What's the closest you've ever been to being like,
Man, I've been real close, maybe twice, let's say. But the time I was really the closest, and I've said that in a couple interviews, it really just came down to them wanting too much, and it started to feel like a compromise in a job. And it's like, if you got a CEO, you know, if I'm a lion, I'm a Leo, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can't be nothing else, you know? Like, even if the monkeys is having fun and the zebras is chilling,
Doing
eating
it,
all the grass,
right.
I'm still under the tree looking at everybody. You feel me? Like, I don't want to hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still chilling under the tree, you feel me, watching the whole thing go down. And that's cool. It's a good position for me. But once it's like you try to ask the lion to do what everybody else do, it don't never work.
yeah,
It don't never work, you know? And that's always how my spirit felt with it, was like, I could be me, but if it's too much compromising and it's watered down and y'all asking for too much, and then now I feel like I can't be me because of what I've compromised and given up to get to this spot, then it's like, I don't care no more.
Yeah.
You know, no accolades, no sales, no anything could ever replace the feeling of just being a lion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't.
It won't
Not
do
for
it.
me. Not for me.
Oh, that's facts. That's facts, man. Just a born leader, man. Just a born leader.
And even if I'm just leading myself at times, just, you know what I'm saying? That's fine with me.
I love that.
You know? And that's been how it is sometimes. And that's truthful, you know? But that's how I got to do it.
Yeah. I mean, so much so that you know, obviously went and started your own, not only label, brand, you know what I'm saying, with
Thank you.
with O.P.M. What made you name it O.P.M.? What like other people's money?
That was my dad, man. That was my dad talking crazy. Again, he lived in New York for like about a year. Before I was rapping, I was out of high school, young guy, young Dom, maybe 22 years old, you know, before I even dropped 25th Hour, my first tape. And he was talking about how, you know, he was in corporate America. And that was something, I aspired to be a CEO, but not to have a job. Or work in corporate America. That was never my ambition. But so one day he's on a rant. We walking through Manhattan, and he talking about, oh, they crooks, and they steal money, and they do this, and da-da-da. And out his mouth he say, other people's money. And I'm like, damn, that's what's up.
Fire.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to remember that, you know, for one day I might need it. And then doing music, you know, thinking, oh, I'm going to be in the industry. Then you like, nah, I really want to start a company. And then it's like, it's always, you got to go fill out, get your LLC, fictitious business name. What's your company called? That was what stuck out in my mind that day.
O.P.M.
Yeah.
Other
That's what it say on my bank card. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
Yeah, that's what I called it. You know, that's what I wrote down on the paper. I was like, I'm gonna just call it that. You know, and that was just from hearing it from my dad 4 years earlier.
Yeah.
Hearing him say,
Crazy,
what does that mean to you though? Like other people, like that name. What does it mean to you?
For me, it's the name of the business. But if you want to break it down in terms of like how you can actually use it, it means that like. The funny thing about it is I use it in reverse in the way that, you know, that my dad was angry and how he used it is not the way I use it. So my dad was using it in the terms of like rich people use other people's money to build their wealth.
Yeah.
So if that be the case, I would have signed with a label and use their money to build my wealth, right? I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm telling you is that's what they do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I just turned the negative into a positive, you know, in a way, and just made it my own. You know what I'm saying? Because I use my money to build, to shoot my videos, to market my album, to pay my engineers, to pay the producers, you know?
Yeah.
What's you know, some advice to, you know, artists who are doing it independent, their own way, and you know, you talked about, you know, money and spending, and some people just want to get the rapper starter kit and put the fucking chain on with the big car, and you know, but you got to really do your own accounting. Like, you got to be super on point. Like you say, you're paying producers and videos.
I spent $283,000 last year. I did my taxes a couple weeks ago. I spent $283 paying people to do jobs, not on the rapper kit, not shopping, not eating, not
like
cars,
legitimate.
I'm talking about paying people.
Yeah.
Nah, Jay said, well, I forget the line from Jay, but it was something about, you know, what's cooler than copping houses and is paying lawyer fees. You know what I mean? And I don't even think it was houses, but I don't want to, I fucked the quote all up. But
chains is more important as lawyer fees. Yeah.
From that Reasonable Doubt project.
And that's very true. And you know, shout out to my lawyer as well. You know what I'm saying? For sure, because I pay him for
the mentality, you know what I'm saying? Because that's gems, man. A lot of people don't even know what to do and how to do it.
It takes discipline.
Right.
It takes trial and error, you know?
Okay, so maybe once you might have blown a little bag.
You would be lying if you say, exactly. I'm about to clear it up.
I was just about to say, what's the biggest, not even a home. We won't say a home because that's probably the biggest part, but I'm saying just like on some shit that you don't need, that you know you don't need, what's like the biggest purchase you think you've made? Because I feel like you're pretty reserved. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of nice shit. I just bought my little brother Mike Grisea chain, man, for O.P.M. flooded white gold for his birthday. We could start with that. I gave it to him on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? We could start with that. And that's not even for me. You know, that was for him because he been with me since the beginning of it. You know? Answer every phone call, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
We could start with stuff like that. But, man, you know, the first car I bought, let's just say, in 2012, I bought a BMW, and a lady thought I had got a record deal.
Shit.
That's why I was buying the 650, and I put on the cover of the Yellow album, that same car. But yeah, she was congratulating me for whoever signed me to be able to pay her, and I was laughing because I didn't want to explain it to her.
Right.
But that's what her mentality was of like what we do. You know, it's like he has to have got a lump sum of money to be paying cash for this, and she didn't even know. Like, nah, I was like 25, just being a CEO. You know, I had already did a tour and put out albums on platforms. You know.
Oh, that's going in the
on
book.
My own.
That's going in the book.
That's for sure going in the book, man.
Yeah.
Yo, we got our brother Dom Kennedy here. From the Westside With Love 3 is out right now. Do you got I forgot what you said earlier. You said you have a favorite record on the album, right?
I was Hypnotized when I was shouting out John G.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Do you have like one though, or is that hard to pick?
It's hard to pick, but I said that with that one because every so often, like, you'll have a song where you're like, dang, this album couldn't have been this without this song, you know? Yeah. And I feel that way about Hypnotized. I feel that way about The Other Side. It's another song on there called The Other Side that I really love. Shout out to O.P.M. He produced it, new young producer out the IE.
Okay.
I feel like those two, amongst everything, but it's like certain ones. When I say that, where I'm like, yo, those are like
pillars.
Special album songs where it's like, I wouldn't even love this album as much if those songs wasn't on there.
Right,
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right. When do you feel like you write the best music? Is it when you're by yourself? Is it a room full of people?
I would say either solo or working with somebody who loves the music just as much, usually a producer. Mm-hmm. But I've done everything, you know, and especially now in recent years, like working on Game album, you know, Born to Rap. I got the opportunity, shout out to Game, to executive produce that. And he had 50 people there every night.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So me, I'm like, yo, this is crazy, you know, because y'all come link with me. Like, it'll be me or I might have somebody there.
Right.
Usually there'll be somebody in the team or the camp or doing something, you know, that's pertaining to the music. You know, so seeing that other side, it definitely opened my eyes to be like, yo, people do not do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like how chill I am and how I could like, man, you know, get on the computer. Somebody could send me a beat. I could pretty much handle it from there.
Everything.
You know, I don't think a lot of people even really know that about what I do, you know, but I think that, either solo or with somebody who I'm creating with. You know, who cares just as much about whatever record that we're creating at that time, you know?
That's
like
why
you have to be in tune with
that's
the
why
moment.
The Hit Boy chemistry is so good.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because, you know, you got them situations, you could have people that don't even care or they just take all the energy and distract you from doing whatever. They talking about old songs or do this or do that. And it's like, you kind of got to learn, like, I could deal with anybody, but you got to be in the moment.
Right.
You know,
create that energy and protect it once you
in the moment. Yeah, for sure.
Is 3 the magic number for the series, man? Does it stop at 3 or is there?
Right now it does. It stops at 3, man.
Unless the music's talking.
I couldn't imagine somebody asked me that, and again, I never, you know, it's not. I don't know the right word, but it's premeditated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like, yo, I got this coming in, you know, like, nah, I have 0 songs, 0 plans, you know, for that. Like, but it could happen.
If
I'm
the
not
music,
gonna
if
say,
the music talks to you,
if the time and the music presented itself and it deserved that, like, it would have to be worthy of that title, and you know, I'll have to go through those same type of situations. You know, from the Westside With Love, man, it's a true labor of love. Like, you know, it's times where I'm like, yo, I should just quit. You know what I'm saying? Or do something else. Or it would be easier, obviously, even to come with a whole other title, right? Like, because then you don't have those expectations.
Right, that pressure almost.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So it's like, you got to be mentally and all the way locked in, you know, for at least, like I said, 18 months before I even dropped it, I was thinking I already had it in my mind, like, yo, I could. And then you start working, and then you get some good songs and some good vibes, and then you keep working, and you like, I'm done. And you like, nah, I'm not done. I want to do 20 more, you know, I want to do 10 more. And so it's always a labor of love. So I don't know.
It's more of a timing thing.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's a game time decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a game time decision.
So did you have any records recorded before you came up with the title, or did the title come first and you were like?
No, I recorded a song called Candy Paint, and maybe one other one would hit that we didn't put on the album, and I was like, this is from the Westside With Love.
It just felt right.
Yeah, like what I was saying.
Yeah,
the music, the focus, the feeling of how things are right now in music. Because in 2010, to be honest, it was very similar. They say like 10 years, it's a cycle. It was very similar. I had similar sentiments about music, about what I was hearing, about how I felt. And that kind of inspired it as well, where it's like, yo, we need to do more fly music artistically.
Yeah.
And show people like it's possible and let them hear it, and be an example instead of following or, going with the norm or, shooting for a certain section of the game, which is like, that's part of it, but it's like from the Westside With Love don't really have nothing to do with any of that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's just crazy how the mentality, so many people want to fit in nowadays instead of taking their time to stand out specifically. Exactly. Like that's the goal. And like the hip hop we grew up on, it's like everyone had their own. You was watching a different movie every time you press play.
So in me living in Leimert, being young, being broke, trying to create the first one, that was my mentality. I'm listening to Illmatic. I'm listening to Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to those to Ready to Die every day, trying to figure out how I need to be this important, this impactful, with the originality, with the music, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And those is what those albums are and were, for whatever you could say they not, what they are is they're special because they're, if the stream is going this way, Ready to Die made it go this way.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, 100%.
Westside With Love make it go a little bit more of that because it stops and it makes you think like, yo, I could be more thoughtful. You know what I'm saying? I could be a little more fly with it. I could open the game up a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell some little fly stories. You know, put some 16s together, real 16s, like rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I just hope that the next generation of kids see that, hear that, and if they want to be a part of that type of legacy, they have the courage, like how you were saying, because they see me do it. They have the courage to stay up and write raps.
Right.
Like I did, because I knew if I get my opportunity, I want to be able to say fly shit on the mic.
That's right. Timeless and make it timeless.
Yeah.
Who, anyone from that new generation, that next generation that's catching your ear right now?
Man, a lot of people, obviously I'm on the Blast record, got it all. Shout out to Blast, man. He, he's like continuously just showing improving. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I love his sound. I love how, like when I go to my family functions and I see people, I love how they enjoy themselves to Blast music.
Right. Yeah.
In an authentic way. That makes me feel good. So as just somebody from LA. So then when you have the opportunity to hear yourself on one of the records, oh man, it's the best. Yeah. It's the best, So people like Blast, Don Toliver, I just went to his show. We talked about that a little earlier. I feel like he's one of the greats, Yeah. And his music is a little more like innovative than the norm, you know what I'm saying? But he's so talented that it's like, it's almost unbelievable. It's like watching an A student, do something new, but still excel at it.
He's still getting A's.
In real time, and still getting A's off of doing something that they just learned. He figured out a different way
to do that math problem, but it's
still
right.
It's getting it absolutely right, man. And I love that. I love that for music. So those will probably be some of the, and then I'm just listening to classics. Like I was listening to Spit all day. He got a tape out called Highest in Charge.
Yeah.
And I love hearing, people's perspectives, obviously being from New Orleans and just hearing him still getting off and saying like similar things just about being a boss, living his life, doing what he want to do, having a great time, man. I just enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Dope, what you think about this big for the city, man, the Super Bowl halftime show? Well, first of all, just having a Super Bowl in LA. But the halftime show, we got Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dot, Mary J. Like, talk about that feeling, you know, being a kid from LA, man.
Man, if it's a great game, I'ma show up. You know what I'm saying? For the halftime, but also because it's a good game. And now I'm gonna watch on TV, man. But it's special, you know, to grow up as a hip hop kid in the '90s and like experience a lot of that. You know, like I think somebody asked me, and I was telling them, like, from my perspective, you know, it's like it's them performing, but then it's like the history of America as well, in terms of like a lot of that stuff was controversial when we was kids.
Oh yeah, they was kicking down.
So to go from that to being on the biggest entertainment platform, you know, of the year, which is the Super Bowl, you know, of all entertainment of anything, more people will look at that per minute, hour, however they rate it, than anything that happens every year. And to have, you know, Snoop, Long Beach, Compton, you know, you said Mary J, but just, you know, it's like, man, it's big.
Yeah.
It's big for everybody. You know, how they represent and things that they've done up until this point. It's big for everybody, man. And you would be a fool and downplaying it if you thought anything different. Like, it's important for everybody because the work that they put in, you know, obviously we all wish Tupac was here.
Absolutely,
you know, that would be
man.
the cherry on top.
Right.
Yeah. That's who I thought of immediately. I'm not going to lie, you know. Could you imagine Tupac at the Super Bowl? Wow.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
We
you
talked about
exactly. That would be like unbelievable, right? Exactly. But it's like Eazy-E, you know what I'm saying? RP, you know what I'm saying? Like all of those people played a big part in that momentum of them getting to that spot, you know?
Yeah.
But coming from hip hop days and being a fan where it was like you couldn't even buy the albums, you know, they looked at you crazy if you even had a Snoop Dogg album. Like,
for sure,
you had to hide it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember seeing people hide. You know, you had to be 18 to buy it, and it's like
30 words.
Now they on the biggest platform in the world,
man.
You know?
Yeah,
the biggest
for sure.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
That's beautiful. It is beautiful, man. Dom Kennedy's here. It's always great to have you on the show,
man,
bro.
It's a pleasure, man.
You know, much continued success. We hear the love, the passion, the inspiration in your voice. Like, you just seem like you're in a great space, man.
I am, man. Thank you. You know, thank you to the fans, man. I really owe it to the fans. Like, everything I have, you know, especially in terms of materials in this world, you know, the fans have afforded me and have stuck with me all of this time and supported me, especially those in Los Angeles and around the world. I got great markets. I've been around the world a couple times. I look forward to going back on tour, but man, I'm just a product of the fans, man, trying to get that real energy back to them, man, and tell the truth every time I get on the microphone as best as, you know, as best I can, to the best of my abilities. I look at that as my number one job, you know, to represent for the people that can't. You know what I mean? I got a lot of homies probably watching this, maybe doing bad, maybe locked up, maybe going through things, and it's just like that inspiration right there. It's priceless.
That's right.
You know, that's worth the weight in gold, you know, right there. And I try to stay mindful of things like that, you know, and represent for everybody, not just myself, you know. It's bigger than just me, for sure.
That's right. You hear that, rappers? Tell the truth in your music. That's the cool shit. All right, man. From the Westside with Love, 3 is out now.
Yes, sir.
More music on the way. A tour in you know,
2022. Look for me springtime. Some type of announcement, maybe top of the year. You know, we gonna put it together. Yeah. But I'll definitely be on the road next year. Live music, you know what I'm saying, from the Westside with Love 3. Shooting a couple more videos. Got 2 out right now. Dropping Rolling Papers soon. Real happy about that, man. Just in a great space. New artists as well next year on O.P.M. You know, I don't want to let nothing out, but, you know, just stepping more into that CEO role as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm encouraging everybody to step it up.
That's right.
Not just because of me. Like, I got artists that's crazy too. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be putting out music from him. So, you know, I hope everybody stand up late at night working on their craft. You know what I'm saying? For sure. I do. It's going to be good for everybody.
You know it. You know it. Power 106, LA Leakers, Dom Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
LA's #1 for hip-hop.
Know that.